Hey everybody, how you doing? IntoWeapons back again with you. Got a pretty cool rifle to share with you today. Found this little gem a few weeks ago at a local gun store. My wife dragged me out to kind of a rural area that we go to, and they have a yearly rummage sale. She wanted to go to that, and I, hesitantly went along with her, a whole day of rummage sailing, hooray. One of the stipulations was that I would be able to stop at a local gun store that's in that area, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and take a look at what they got. It's one of my favorite gun stores. It's, like I said, in the middle of nowhere. It's in the back of this guy's house, and he's probably got well over 400 guns, majority of them being used guns. And being out in that rural area, he has a lot of cool guns that come in from the farmers and local residents and stuff that you just don't find everywhere. So I like stopping in there and trying to find little gems or treasures that, maybe he doesn't even realize he has. And those were one of those days. I was excited. I walked in the door, immediately spotted this sitting on the shelf, zoned right to it, and had an awesome price of $529. Was able to talk him down a little bit, which he's well known for doing, to kind of negotiate back and forth, and was able to pick it up for $500 out the door with taxes, fees, background checks, and all that stuff. And if you know what you're looking at, that is a pretty good deal. What we got here, guys, is a Chinese Norinco Milled MAK90 AK-47 7.62 by 39. As many of you know, my collection, I used to have a stamped MAK90, and I had to sell it at one point because I needed some fundage, and regretted it ever since. They're just superb firearms, superb rifles, very accurate, well built, and I'm extremely excited to find a milled one to add back to my collection here. So, and being able to add it at that kind of price is certainly a win-win situation. So, current condition it's in, it's probably a good $800–900 gun to the right buyer. So it definitely was of value at $500. Just giving you a quick overview of it, guys. If you're not familiar, again, this is coming from China. They were only imported from 1990 to 1994 in this sporter configuration like that until they were banned. This one here, it doesn't have the markings like it normally would for the serial number, as to identify, at least with the stamp version, what year it was imported. It doesn't have those two-digit preceding numbers, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, that kind of thing. But it does start with a 2, and someone said that they do have one of these as well, and that's potentially the year that it was imported. So I'm going to have to go with that and guess that it was imported in 1992. As you can see, it's got the lightning cut here on the receiver, which identifies it as a milled variant. It's in pretty good condition here. You can see the wood is kind of a dark stain. I'm really not a big fan of that. I may end up redoing that, having my buddy at Above and Beyond strip it down and restain it to a Chinese blonde. I'm also contemplating doing a conversion to this guy and putting on some ironwood wood. Ironwood design wood, I should say, the full stock set with the grip and all that, and doing a a Chinese blonde or something on that. So we'll see what this comes into. At $500, I can put a little bit of money into it and not worry so much about it. So overall condition was pretty good. There's a little bit of finish wear. It was definitely used, well used, I should say. It came dirty at the shop. It was extraordinarily dirty and had quite a bit of rust and corrosion on it. I restored it and took out the Dremel tool and fixed all the spots where there was corrosion, oiled it, greased it, all that good stuff, and kind of brought it back to as good of a condition as it could possibly be, being a used gun. And I'll give you a little bit closer up on these markings here. Made in China by Norinco, imported by this company, which I'm not really familiar with, IDE of McLean, I think it's McLean, Virginia. Haven't really ever heard those guys before, and it seems like they're not around anymore, and have only imported a limited number of guns. But MAK-90 caliber 7.62 by 39. We got the triangle, or the 386 factory number there. All the numbers match on this gun, which was really nice. And we also have the, see if you can get that there, the Norinco logo on the bottom of the receiver. And just a really solid built gun. Obviously being milled, it's a little bit bulkier and heavier than a stamped version, but overall pretty good condition for $500. Trigger is nice and crisp. I can fix this leaf sight here to put it where it needs to be. There we go. Obviously we don't have a threaded muzzle there with the import restrictions. Probably have that threaded. Be able to put a brake on there, maybe a Chinese brake of some sort. Looks like it was missing the sling swivel or whatever it is that they attach to these guys. He had put an Uncle Mike's one in there and kind of jammed it in. I pounded that out, and I don't know, I'll probably just leave that as is. we'll give you a little bit closer on the looks on the inside of this, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous on the inside. The bore did have a little bit of pitting down there, and I have a whole album of pictures on my Facebook page that, you know, piece by piece breaks it down and shows you a lot of the pictures, so you can kind of take a little bit closer look at that if you want to jump out there. But dust cover had some corrosion on it, discoloration. Did the best I could with it. You really can't remove a whole lot of the corrosion on the tops of these dust covers or outsides of the dust covers, mainly because you'll take the finish right off there, and you don't want to do that. So that was just minimally cleaning with a brush and oiling up. Completely took apart the spring, cleaned that out, oiled it, all that good stuff. It's in really good condition. There was no number on the spring that I remember seeing. Yes, I don't see anything on there, so the spring doesn't have a number. We have the bolt and bolt carrier, and the bolt carrier was probably in the worst condition, fouled up completely, and absolutely disgusting. It was so corroded on there, in fact, that my wire brush wouldn't get through it. There was no amount of wire and brush that was going to get through that. So I ended up taking out the Dremel and using the steel wire on that, the little spindle one that spins around, and was able to cut through that really thick fouling on it. And you can see now it came out absolutely gorgeous, almost like new. So did a real good job cleaning that up. Now there was a lot of corrosion here on the bolt. You can probably see that a little, or the carrier I should say, back here towards the end. And just kind of used a real fine pressure on that with a wire brush just to kind of eat away the thick corrosion, and then well oiled it. I didn't do anything with the finishing on it. And then you can see the inside of the carrier here is in immaculate condition, very good. And you have the matching serial number on the back there. But overall, bolt carrier, after I clean it up, is in real good condition. There isn't any real serious wear marks or damage. The bolt itself, again, had to clean that up, some corrosion marks and such, but overall turned out really, really nice. You can see there, it's got the matching numbers again. And you don't see any damage or defects to it, which is really nice. And then you also have the bolt face, which is a good indicator when you're buying an AK as to how much wear is through it, how well it was kept. And you can probably see there that that bolt face is very clean after I got her cleaned up. Very minimal wearage on that, which is key for having a solid firearm. We'll take a look at the inside here. I completely removed the fire control group, and yeah, I just love the way these Chinese fire control groups look. It's got that that hammer that's got that multicolor finish. I think that's part of the hardening process, but one of the really key identifying features that you're looking at a Chinese fire control group is that hammer that has got that weird color to it. And just an absolutely fabulous trigger. The Chinese really know how to do it, and once it's broken in like this one is, it's just a really nice creep-free, clean, crisp trigger pull. So really enjoyed shooting this. I already do have some footage of test firing this at the range. I actually shot it prior to cleaning it, which is never a great idea, but I was just too excited to get it out. So very soon I'll have that video footage put together for you guys. You'll be able to see that. But overall, after I cleaned up the fire control group, everything looked really nice in there, really clean. Didn't see any corrosion. The bottom of the receiver is really good there. You can see, hopefully I've got enough light in here for you guys. But overall looked really nice. If I can maybe get some light in here. Let's see, maybe this way. And you can see kind of the feed ramp and stuff there is in pretty good, decent condition. Chambers in good condition. Probably won't get you a good picture of the bore. I'm sure there's not going to be not enough light shining through here. Well, maybe we can capture a little something here. Not sure if you guys are going to be able to make that out or not, but I had a nice, good rifling on it. It was really dirty at the shop, but I could still see the rifling within the bore there, so I knew I was in pretty decent shape. After cleaning it up, lots of passes with the wire brush. It came out pretty well, and it's pretty shiny at this point. So they're chrome line. They usually can take a beating and keep on ticking without much of a problem of corrosion. So the gas tube was in good condition. This is the one piece that you always kind of have to be worried about, because if they don't clean this thing, they can just rot and corrode away to heck. But overall, it was in pretty good condition. The exterior was excellent. The interior was halfway decent there. I didn't see a whole lot of corrosion or buildup of rust or anything like that, which was great to see. Once I cleaned it up and ran through some steel brushes and things like that, Again, being careful not to take off that finish as much as possible, but it cleaned up really nicely and oiled up real nicely. One of the dirtier parts here of a gun is going to be that gas block, and that obviously is a difficult piece to clean. I don't think I'm probably going to be able to show you in there. But I got that fairly clean. I took a pad and or it was a steel pad more or less, steel brush pad, and kind of pushed that down there with a Phillips head screwdriver and twisted it around, and was able to get a good portion of the big chunks of fouling, etc. But never an easy piece to clean. So that worked out pretty well, and that cleaned up nicely. That's about it, guys. Kind of go over the whole gun with you. Really excited again to have this in the collection. We'll probably get out to the range a few times with it, but I do already have some range video put together, and I'll be releasing that as soon as possible. But if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, as always, I appreciate watching. Until next time, take her easy.